A big group of people that were relying on me to always have the right answer. Not just an answer, but the right answer. And I didn't have that all the time. Leadership is not a title, it's not something that can be given to someone, it is intrinsic.
At Touchstone, the three things we actively strive towards are safe to speak, safe to fail, safe to grow.
People misunderstanding leadership and management, there's a clear differentiation between the two.
Everybody wants to be a leader, nobody sees what goes on behind the scenes in becoming a leader.
Leadership stems from knowing your why. Most organizations or most people misunderstand it because they start with what. If you're looking for a team that doesn't just do, but thinks, solves problems, and leads, you should be knocking Touchstone's doors. Because at Touchstone, our talent is your team.
We actually are having conversations regarding your growth. The people who want to be mentored, who want to bring problems forward, but not around them, who come with a solution oriented approach. We see you. These conversations are real, and majority of the times when you see us busy in these conversations, in meetings, in conference rooms, we are having conversations about your growth, your future aspirations, how Touchstone and the management can come forward with plans to be able to provide you with a career path. How do you see leadership evolving in this digital era, and how does that relate to the culture at Touchstone? And why? And you might as well share your journey, starting back from when you were here at Touchstone.
Well, in my opinion, leadership is seeing your success through others. The most simplest example that I can give you, or definition that I can give you. But in all honesty, there's a lot of content that's already out there about leadership, but it's packaged in different ways. Mostly, what you tend to see is people misunderstanding leadership and management. There's a clear differentiation between the two.
Right.
They're obviously both miles apart, but the way they're packaged, it tends to confuse your general audience. Since you're asking me the question about leadership, leadership is not a title. It's not something that can be given to someone. It is intrinsic. So you have to be able to take responsibility for actions, and it can come from anyone from the CEO all the way to a janitor who's willing to take the responsibility for it. As far as my own journey is concerned, I don't believe that I was a leader to begin with. Uh, it was something that a lot of people highlighted that I had potential to become a leader, but I never felt that I want to be obligated to become a leader because I felt that it would weigh me down. At that point of time in my life, I had very short-term goals, which were very, in all honesty, selfish, because I had my education and then I had my career or job at that point of time. I wouldn't even look at it as a career, but those were my only two goals. And I was not a team player at that point of time. Although when I would have signed up for the job, I would have said anything and everything that would define me as a team player, but it was mostly just me, and me.
Well, that also speaks volumes about your sales skills, because you've always been a very um, an excellent salesperson. So I
Right.
think that tied up with your initial job goals
Well,
as
I
well.
tried to sell you out of this meeting today, but unfortunately, didn't do a good enough job. So I guess I'm still learning to be an expert salesperson. It's the pursuit to perfection is what we're looking for. So yeah, I do believe that I'm a salesperson at heart. That's something that comes very
Right.
naturally to me. But this conversation is about leadership, so let's just keep it hovering around leadership, if you don't mind.
Perfectly well. Let's broaden the scope a little bit. Do you think that leadership, when we look at the global stage, uh, are there certain traits that leaders exhibit in the way they manage their workplace or their personal space? Or is it something that can be customized or localized? What do you think about that?
Well, there's There's a very long answer for that, and there's a very short answer.
We do have a certain time span in which we do have to end this conversation because HR has other tasks at hand as well.
Well, I'm sure.
And we don't want to
I,
block your calendar for too
I'm
long.
I'm sure. And with all due respect, HR is a very integral department. So I want to give you um, a very short and precise answer. But I truly believe that leadership stems from knowing your why. Most organizations or most people misunderstand it because they start with what, but it is there's a biological function and a scientific rationale for it as well. If you know your why, if you know how, and then what, and you follow that path, uh, your leadership skills would be a lot higher in comparison to going the other way. If you know why you're getting out of bed every day, and that getting out of bed has a meaning behind it, and it's not for yourself and it's for others, you're that's one of the biggest traits that you could see
Right.
of a leader. If you ask me personally, I get out of bed every day to create another job in Pakistan. That's what our vision is. Uh, I dropped my career in the United Kingdom, my education, my lifestyle in the United Kingdom, and I made my way back to my home country, which is Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
And the purpose was I felt obligated to give back to my countrymen, and that that's the light bulb moment for me when I felt, hey, you're done doing things for yourself. Now it's time to see your success or see your success in others. So now I try to make you successful, try to make everyone else successful around me. So when I get out of bed, my mission is that I want to make people around me successful, and I want to succeed through them.
Interesting. I think now you hit a nerve there. Um, what you just alluded to, I think that brings the conversation about leadership and how is it's enshrined in the very fabric of Touchstone and our core values. We see it here. So when you're walking the company halls, whether it be in Islamabad or our other facilities or in our head office in Fort Worth, Texas, how do you spot a leader at the very infancy stage of their career, or do you make a concerted effort towards finding leaders, or maybe picking up talent that you would want to have within Touchstone, or honing their abilities? What's your approach, or is it just comes naturally to you?
That's a great question, but I would like to elaborate on that a little bit. There are three core functions that I pride myself in performing or being a part of. Either I'm trying to fix a process, either I'm trying to bring creative uh, energy to a process, or if there's something that's very big, I would be indulging in it. The last thing that I am always looking for, and I'm evangelical about, is spotting people doing the right thing and seeing if they have leadership traits. And I see that every day. There are people with very high potential that you come across every day that are looking to take responsibility, and they're trying to succeed through others.
Right.
That can be an agent, an A player sitting right next to a C player, and although it's not his responsibility, he's commissioned to do sell or service a consumer on the other end of the phone, but he or she takes it upon themselves to help that C player develop into a B and a B into an A, and that is leadership to its core. We didn't give him a title. We didn't tell him that you're a coach, you're a team lead, or you're a manager for that particular resource. But they took the responsibility of helping that person that is right next to them. And that is what I love observing when I see someone doing that. I would immediately want to bring that person up and see if that person is doing it casually, or is that something that they they enjoy doing, right? Or were they forced? And in most cases, it's intrinsic. They just like helping people, and it's a very genuine feeling that comes from the bottom of their heart, and they have this ability to uh, create a circle of influence around them, and then they're not just helping that one person. they're helping a couple of other people that are around them. So in our environment, there's a person towards your left, there's a person towards your right, there's someone sitting across the desk, and there's obviously someone sitting behind you at the same time. So when you come across such individuals, they have this positive energy around them, and people are attracted towards them. So those are your leaders within
Right.
our organization.
Interesting. And I think you live by it, and we see it every day, and it's emulated in the people that you are interacting with, and we see it every day. I genuinely believe. So when we talk about leadership, there's a fallacy that leaders have to be perfect. So perfectionism is everything that everybody strives for. And in my journey, what I've seen is a leader can be flawed. A leader doesn't have to be perfect. By showing the leadership, which is maybe flawed at times, also creates a more relatable environment at workplace as well, and basically give an aspirational tone to the way you lead. Everybody wants to be a leader. Nobody sees what goes on behind the scenes in becoming a leader. Yusuf, I'm really interested in finding out how did you build the culture that we have prevalent in Touchstone right now? What are the traits that you see in this culture?
So first and foremost, I wouldn't want to take all the credit for it. I've always said this. Uh, I've always been blessed with a fantastic team, a fantastic group of people that work with me, and they're the ones who've actually contributed the most in understanding what the requirements are, and in order for us to uphold a positive work culture, we've made sure that each and every one of them is aligned with the vision of the organization, and that has actually allowed us to that cohesiveness, that brotherly bond uh, amongst the team members has actually allowed us to.
Brotherly, what about the female gender?
Well,
Politically incorrect, may I say?
well, you're HR, so
How did we have the culture that is present?
well, first and foremost, I wouldn't want to take all the credit to myself. I believe that I've always been blessed with a fantastic group of people, a team that has surrounded me, and they've been very focused on the vision of the business, and that has what has allowed us to create a very positive culture within the organization. Our ability to understand what the client's requirements are,
Right.
and also at the same time listening to our associates and understanding what their requirements are has allowed us to create a very positive culture within the organization. Now there are gaps here and there that do get created, but we pride ourselves as a management team to plug those gaps as quickly as possible, and HR does a fantastic job in aiding us in that process. And I thank the HR team for stepping in and making sure that our cultural values are aligned, and that's something that helps us hold that great workplace culture that we have.
Thank you very much. But let's switch gears and maybe add a little bit of fun, fun conversation to it. Why do you bring so many donuts to work all the time?
Well,
Every second day we see I'm not going to name the brand because then it'll be unpaid promotion.
yeah, as long as we
But
can as long as we can make some money off it, I don't mind. Let's throw that brand out there,
really,
and we can ask them for money later on. But anyways, you go ahead and ask that question.
yeah. So what's the thought behind bringing donuts to everybody every day? Pretty much.
Uh, you want an honest answer?
You have a sweet tooth. We already know that.
So I have a sweet tooth, but since I'm going to get fat, I want everyone else around me getting fat at the same
I
time.
love that answer. I think we just hit a home run, and we also got a confession from the CEO himself. So anyway, moving back. We always talk about the kind of culture that we would want to have in an organization, and specifically speaking, Touchstone. What are the do's and don'ts? Let's reverse gears and talk a little bit about what is the kind of culture that you do not want to see here at Touchstone.
Great question. The What I would not want Touchstone to be is a place where you feel that your opinion doesn't matter. What I would not want to, as a as a culture in Touchstone is people not being encouraged to make honest mistakes. We're all human beings. We all burp and fart. We all come in different shapes and sizes. We make mistakes, and those mistakes are what actually make us human. Within the organization, we have all kinds of people that work for us. Yes, the age demographic that we have is very young, but there is a blend of Gen Zs. We've got millennials working side by side, and we harbor a very healthy work culture. And I do not want Touchstone to be in a situation where it's being categorized, or there are walls that separate us. And I believe that my team has done a fantastic job in never discriminating ethnicities, sex, or in any way or form economic backgrounds of people. Uh, and they've done a fantastic job in making sure that there's an equilibrium, to say the least, that helps us manage the culture of the
Right.
organization.
So, Yousaf, do you think that Pakistan still underestimates its talent?
I hear a lot of negative remarks here and there. just हमें आदत है, पाकिस्तान में ऐसा होता है, पाकिस्तान में वैसा होता है. But I can tell you what we truly have is an exceptional talent pool. It can be Gen Zs, it can be millennials. I don't like to discriminate between them. They're human beings. They are talent. Uh, if they have the right skill, and if they have the right mindset, we would welcome them with open arms at Touchstone Communications and provide them with jobs. And that talent pool that we have within Pakistan can achieve wonders if we work as a team.
Right.
And I think that's where a lot of us misunderstand, or we create walls here and there, thinking that there's a difference in segmentation. There are human beings at the end of the day. If they have a skill, we as management should have the ability to manage them. And I think we here at Touchstone Communications do a fantastic job in truly understanding how to manage both pools, Gen Zs, millennials. I myself have certain staff members that report directly to me that are Gen Zs, and then most of the staff members that I have under me are millennials. Now, keeping that in mind, I don't think that I have to put in a whole lot of effort in managing them differently. It's just me asking them questions that are specific to their job.
Right.
And if they're hired correctly, which I believe they were, if we were asking them the right questions, they're doing what is expected of them. We take pride at Touchstone Communications in building scorecards for every position that we have. There's a yellow brick road that has been created for every role, regardless of them being in any segment, Gen Zs or millennials. They shine here at Touchstone Communications. And if someone feels that they're no longer a fit for the organization, it's typically when they're spent, they don't actually have enough creative juice left in them, or they're burned out. And that's something that naturally comes when
Understandable, yes.
when you're working in an environment. Everyone has a certain lifespan that they'd like to spend it within an organization, and will switch. And we take that we take that on the chin, and I don't think there's any reason for us to think differently.
Very well put. I think one thing that we have done right here at Touchstone, the HR department, as well as in coordination with the leadership division that was put forward, it's a breath of fresh air that the Gen Z, this generation that we are speaking about, and predominantly constitutes our workforce. Uh, they're not afraid to ask for things. They're not afraid to voice their opinion. And one of the key factors in that is the reward and recognition platform that we have been able to institute here at Touchstone. And we've branded it as League of Legends. And we have received tremendous feedback on it. And it has a direct impact on the performance of our workforce. And in terms of accountability, how do you see performance management at Touchstone, whether it be the Gen Zs or the support functions? How does that constitute towards the culture of the organization?
That's a process question, and with time, expectations have changed. As I mentioned earlier, we are a BPO. We're not just a call center. We are a business process outsourcing facility, and the way we operate is we create teams that are an extension of our clients' teams. And having said that, there's a hint of other cultures that do impact our organization. And because we've done that for over 2 decades, we're very well accustomed to being open about embracing other cultures within the organization. Because when you're working for a client and when you're providing them resources, as in EOR, which is an employer of record, you have to accept that they are going to be wearing their colors within your organization. Now, you accepting that and us being able to accept that for years and years and years has allowed us to not get uncomfortable managing that behavior. And I think it's not even a challenge for us at this point. It's 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 process driven. We are able to hold teams accountable based on certain scorecards that we've created, and those scorecards do change in accordance to client expectations. Obviously, we look at three matrices. Um, are the scorecards made? Are they client centric? Are they in accordance to our associates' best interest? And are they economically viable for the company to run on? We are a for-profit organization, so we have to make decisions that are in the best interest of the business. And I think that my management team does a fantastic job in maintaining that equilibrium.
Right. Too much heavy talk, I believe. Tell us about something which threw you off, a question that might have come to you from Gen Z.
I don't believe that they've ever thrown a question at me that has thrown me off. It is very expected. I have a 8-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter. They will give me all kinds of nonsense, and
You don't look that old.
They're from. I'll take that as a compliment. But they come from a generation that is maybe even next to Gen Z. I don't even know what that generation would be called.
Alpha.
So I'm already dealing with it. So for me, there is no discrimination in terms of what generation you're from. And being a parent has taught me to and has evolved my management style differently. I used to have what I like to call a carpenter mindset, where I would, if I would like to make a chair, I know exactly how I would create it, and I was very controlling. But I've switched from that I would say that's something that parenthood brought into me. Now I'm in the gardener mindset, and then I send them over to HR, and because that's their job. If it's a difficult question,
And we're happy to help them.
they'll do that.
We're happy to help them. Please come over. When Yousaf is not
To your
able to
best
give you an
abilities.
answer, when you have a problem with Yousaf, come over to me. So I do believe that Gen Z has a radar for performative leadership.
She asked me a couple of difficult questions, and she asked me, "What is success to you?" And I told her, "Success to me is seeing you successful and helping you become successful." And just by me saying that, I saw a spark in her eyes, and then it allowed her to be a little more confident in asking more questions. And it ended up becoming about an hour's worth of conversation where I shared a book with her, which was Start with the Wife by Simon Sinek. And she went through that book, and she had a life-altering experience, is what I would call it.
Wow.
And I believe that she's been coming to my office every now and then asking for a new book, maybe every month. And if I can trigger someone within our organization to learn and develop a learning mindset, I think I've done my job for the day.
I think HR is going to give you a 5 rating on that one.
You should give me a 6 rating for that. It's
No,
your job that I'm doing.
No, I don't believe that you have qualified up till now for a 6 rating.
Okay.
But anyway, we can discuss that.
Please set up a meeting in the near future so that I can reprimand him, and then we can make changes to our policies. And I would like to exercise my authority as a C-level executive to make changes to the policy in his absence.
Make sure you route it to the director of HR, and he's going to handle it.
Make sure we hire a new director HR.
Okay.
Felt very secluded because there was a big group of people that were relying on me to always have the right answer, not just an answer,
Right.
but the right answer, and I didn't have that all the time. But that required preparations. I still remember to this day, I would have sleepless nights. I would be going through different content, different websites, different books, making calls to people that might have the right solution, reaching out to industry leaders at that time to see if I could find the answer to the questions that I didn't have answers to. But uh, with time, I started understanding that you have to build a network around you that is going to provide you that resourcefulness. Very true. To be able to bounce ideas off, and that's where we I would like to shed some light on our culture of making honest mistakes. There's one thing that I'd still pride myself on is making honest mistakes. I was making honest mistakes. I made honest mistakes where I would have had harsh conversations with someone that I shouldn't have had. To me, I was doing the right thing, but deep down inside, the only rationale that I had at that time was I'm making decisions that are in the best interest of the business. Uh, I don't regret the decisions that I made, but that's what I was. Those were the decisions that I was capable of making at that time. Um, a key part of being a part of leadership is having the ability to respond and being responsible to respond. And I think I tried my best throughout the course of my career to be proactive, staying positive, and giving the right answers at that given time. Do I have better answers today? Absolutely. But I believe to my best abilities at that time, I tried my best to have all the right answers, and I found those through various books. There's a book that I keep on preaching by Keith Cunningham, "The Road Less Stupid." It just came out of nowhere, and the title said "The Road Less Stupid," and most people are it's a knee jerk reaction that I get from people. But fact is that actually allowing helped me align a lot of things. Apart from that, there's another book by Tom Sloan, our late CEO, by the name of Grounders, who uses sports analogies and leadership as a cornerstone within that book, and it really helped me find the right answers to the questions that people have.
I don't know. I'm getting a lot of therapy session energy vibes from it. And quite honestly, I'm all for it. And why don't you start a book club? Oh, wait, we already have a book club. But you want to say something?
Yeah, yes, we do. The book that we're recently covering is something that's very important in this day and age with AI coming into play and a lot of automation roles coming into play. There's a requirement of what we like to call change management, and there's a book that is called Gapology that actually helps you identify gaps, and it has certain principles. They're plastered all over my wall behind me as well.
And we can see that.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I that's a book that we're that we are going through at this point of time in our book club, and it's had fantastic reviews so far.
Yeah, I've seen pretty much lying this book everywhere in our offices. And as much as I would like to see the HR manual and the policies plastered all over the walls, there is an absent presence of this book pretty much everywhere. So I think you've driven your point home. Uh, while speaking about if I can use the term vulnerability, uh, throughout the course of my journey, I always believed that I was taught that feedback has to be clinical, it has to be direct, it has to be very straightforward, uh, downright inhumane at times. But as I moved on in my journey within the corporate sector in the HR field, and I've spoken about it before as well in my team meetings. Uh, I developed a certain sense of my own understanding of how a leader should be operating. And that's what I've been propagating amongst my team members, the people I interact with. Uh, Feedback has to be honest, it has to be direct, but it has to be warm. It has to be worded the right way. And you cannot take the empathy out of a leader or your management style. We talk a lot about communication. At Touchstone, we pride ourselves on hiring the right talent who is the right fit for the organization. And communication is an intrinsic part. It's built into our talent acquisition mechanism. It's built into our interviewing processes, the way we bring people on board, the employee experience, all of it. The entire framework of HR is built upon the principles and the tenets of HR. And communication is very key. Whether you are separating an employee from the organization, that also depends how you are offboarding an employee. So yeah, you need to be able to develop that kind of a communication style, and it has to be in sync, as we use the word in sync quite a lot. It has to be in sync with the principles. And there is a line that I love. If you're not standing on principle, you're not going to stand at all. So yeah, that's my takeaway from this conversation.
For everyone who's watching this video and who thinks that they're not a leader, I would advise them to stand in front of a mirror and evaluate yourself. It's not, leadership is not something that is given to you. It is a responsibility that you take upon yourself to see yourself succeeding through others. And if you're able to do that, you have that spark of becoming a leader.
If you're early on in your career listening to this, don't seek permission to grow. Ask questions, stay curious.
If you're looking for a team that doesn't just do, but thinks, solves problems, and leads, you should be knocking Touchstone's doors.
At Touchstone, the three things we actively strive towards are safe to speak, safe to fail, safe to grow. Those are the actual goals. Those three things.